On the afternoon of September 4th, LeVar Jones, a 35-year-old black male, was driving down the road when he heard behind him something that none of us wish to hear behind us while we are driving: police sirens. LeVar is pulled over into a parking lot for an alleged seatbelt violation. As he does so, he gets out of the car and the officer asks to see his license. LeVar reaches back into his car to retrieve his license. When this happens, the officer fires upon him 4 times until he falls to the ground. Fortunately for LeVar, this shooting did not prove to be fatal. But for far too many blacks here in America, this is not the case. Black men such as Sean Bell, Michael Brown, and even Utah's own Darian Hunt have been shot down and killed by the police. With these individuals, we would all love for these to be isolated incidents, but they are not. And I speak with you today about these incidents because I wish to talk about the outcome of the racial tensions between blacks and police. The police officers' reasoning for it, and what the true root of the problem is. Now, as I said, these are not isolated incidents. They occur often. A study done by the Malcolm X grassroots movement, it shows that a black person is killed by police every 28 hours. Every 28 hours, another one of our brothers and sisters are killed. Not by each other, but by the law enforcement. Often people believe that maybe they deserve to be killed, or maybe they were armed and posed a threat. But this study shows that only 27% of these people actually had a weapon on them. And that does not necessarily mean they were using or attempting to use this weapon. No, most of these fatal encounters were started by either racial profilings or a traffic stop, and resulted in the killing of another one of our brothers and sisters. Why are so many blacks here in America killed by those who are sworn in to protect and serve them? The study has a supposed answer for this as well. The study shows that a large percent of those that were killed were not because they were engaged in criminal activity, but rather that the officer felt threatened. This shows that more often than not, our brothers and sisters were not killed because of something they were doing, but because of the way that they looked. The reasons why police officers feel so threatened by African Americans is deeply rooted in the racism of America, something that has been going on since Africans were brought to America. No, now I am not saying that things haven't changed, that we haven't progressed, because surely they have. But what I am saying is that, ladies and gentlemen, we still have room to grow. We as a nation still have progress to be made. We still hold different perceptions, stereotypes, and prejudices towards people because of the color of their skin. I speak not only of Caucasians, but of all of us, regardless of our own race. This is something that all of us struggle with. Now, I have touched on the interaction between police and blacks, the officers' reasoning for it, and how the problem is truly rooted in the racism of America. And I do not speak to you tonight based off of what I am hearing on the news or what others are saying. No, I speak to you based off of the experiences that I have had in my own life, one of which came when I was 18 years old. There I was going into a rural town in West Virginia to work. As I arrived, my manager asked to speak to me. For a moment, I was scared. I was worried about what it is that he wanted to speak to me about. But I was quickly assured that it could only be a good thing, because I knew that I had worked hard and that I was doing well for the company. But as I sat down in his office, I came to a quick realization that this was not a visit of praise. No, that this was not a visit of congratulations, but that this was a visit of letting me know that it would be my last day on the job. Now, he didn't have to say it, but both my coworkers and I knew that the only reason I was getting let go was because of the color of my skin. Now, it would hurt. It was hurtful, knowing that here in the 21st century, people were still being treated not based off of their character or the level of their work, but off of the color of their skin. Now, I am still grateful that that day, the only thing I lost was my job and not my life. Because what happened to Sean Bell, Michael Brown, and Darian Hunt could have very well happened to me.